Episode 64. Are you being honest with yourself? Welcome to Longing for More, where Christians come to strengthen their faith, revive their soul, and learn to live their lives with a sense of fulfillment and peace. Listen each week to learn how to incorporate your faith into your daily activities, stop wandering through life feeling empty and unfulfilled, and begin to live your more. Let's get started. Are you being honest with yourself? I mean, truly honest and open about your life and the path that you are on? Are you following up on the things you say you want to do and be, or are you holding back, possibly out of fear or self-doubt? I realize now that despite the facade that I was holding up for the world to see, I wasn't being honest. I'd been feeding my brain with these half-truths and, yes, even out-and-out lies for a long time. Years, if truth be known. I'd convinced myself that there are only a handful of people in my community who want or need what I have to offer the world. But then I picked up the book titled The Biggest Lie in the History of Christianity and realized how wrong I was. The book was written by Matthew Kelly, and he explains how we all have the ability to make a difference in the world. The whole premise of the book is that we've got to take a stand for good in the world. He calls us into action by taking holy moments. This is how he describes holy moments. A holy moment is a moment when you are being the person God created you to be, and you are doing what you believe God is calling you to do in that moment. It is an instant where you set aside self-interest, personal desire, and what you feel like doing or would rather be doing, and embrace what you believe will bring the most good to the most people in that moment. It struck me that I've been doing exactly that for some time. In fact, I left a really great career with great pay, excellent benefits, and a whole list of credentials to reinvent myself and live the life God was calling me to live. It took more courage than I thought I had within me to begin a career in helping others live the life that they were created to live. I think it's important to point out here that it's not necessary for you to make a drastic change in your life or livelihood like I did, but to live your more right where you are planted, to look at all that you've been blessed with, to take actions that could be considered holy moments, and help others to do the same. If you go back and follow my story, I've been encouraging and empowering you to live your best life, have courageous faith, follow your path, or live your more in this podcast for over a year. Truly, I've been doing it by other means for much longer than that, by leading in my church, my community, and in my workplace. I convinced myself that just throwing out a post now and then, or offering a word of encouragement every so often was enough. That all you good people would just pick up on my gentle nudges and run with it. And I'm sure some of you did, for a while anyway. But how's that going? Did you create new habits that will ensure you will step into holy moments, or, as I prefer to call them, living your more every day? By reading or listening to my posts, podcast, or blog, have you completely changed the way you do life? If you have, I would love to know about it. Even if it wasn't a direct result of something I said or did to get you to change your life from wandering into one of purpose and fulfillment, I'd love to know about your transformation. But I'm guessing you haven't. How do I know, you ask? Because I know how hard it is to make that transformation. Now, don't get me wrong. It absolutely can be done without a coach. In fact, by reading the Bible and living God's will day in and day out, you will have the most amazing transformation you could ever imagine. But the problem is, it isn't easy to do that. If it were, everyone would be doing it. Oh, don't get me wrong. With Jesus' help, it is definitely possible. And there are some pretty great stories from people whose lives have changed on a dime. And I admire them so much for taking that leap of faith and never looking back. But that isn't how it is for the majority of us. For me, it was years of Bible studies. Not 1 or 2 a year, but 1 or 2 at a time for years. You can call me a slow learner, and you'd probably be right. But the reality is that scriptures and lessons I've studied and then later restudied have had such different meanings to me the second, third, or even fourth time around. They call it the living word, and I completely agree that it is. I'm still amazed at how I can simply start reading a verse and find that it is exactly what I needed to read in that moment. If you recall, I've said it before, and it's worth repeating here. Knowing is not doing. Just because we know how or why to do something doesn't mean that we do it like we should. That is where coaches come into the picture, because it typically takes a habit change to have real life transformation. And as you know, changing a habit is not easy to do, but it can be done. I've just spent the most amazing week with a group of master life, health, and transformational coaches. They are collectively the most caring and generous people I've ever met, and they are out to change the world. I know it sounds trite to say, but I believe that we can do it. A big reason that I believe that is because every one of us, to a person, has had a huge transformation ourselves. In virtually every area of life you can imagine, this community of healers has changed lives over and over again. It doesn't matter what challenges you are experiencing, I guarantee I can find someone who can help you overcome it. So let's go back to my big lie. I told you I had convinced myself that there would only be a handful of people that would be interested in my particular brand of coaching. The reason that I thought that had nothing to do with my training or my abilities, but rather had everything to do with the fact that instead of focusing strictly on health or career or life coaching, I wanted to coach professionals who, despite their success in life, found themselves wandering from day to day, feeling empty and unfulfilled. If that weren't narrow enough, I wanted to coach those who are in that category who are either Christians or those who are interested in learning more about the faith. Since I've begun this journey, I've tried a dozen different ways to identify myself as a coach, and it wasn't until I landed on this one that I felt complete. I'd love to know how it lands for you. I work with professional women of faith who, despite outward success, find themselves wandering through life feeling empty and unfulfilled. I help them reconnect with the things that really matter so they can live the life their soul is longing for. In my coaching world, they tell us to narrow our niche, but as I sat in that room full of amazingly successful coaches, I was wondering if maybe I'd gone too narrow. One could argue it either way, but to me, working those 30 years in my previous career, having reached numerous successes, and still feeling unfulfilled, I realized I wanted to help others avoid that place. I want you to feel the peacefulness and fulfillment from living out the calling that you have in your life. My first big lie was that I couldn't include faith in the workplace, that it wasn't appropriate. Fortunately, after a lot of belief work and consistent support and encouragement, I've gotten over that. My second big lie was that I didn't think I could really have an impact even if I talked about my faith. I realized this weekend that I was still clinging to that one. But I was wrong. I can make an impact in the world, and so can you. And I want to help you do it. I want to help you get really solid on who you are as a person of faith. I want to help you see how you, too, have a whole tribe of people you need to inspire to live for Christ. And then I want to help you let go of all the lies you've been told and are still telling yourself about why you can't make a difference in the world. I want to help you get reconnected to all the things in this world that truly matter to you and help you reprioritize your life so you can do those things with the people you love. Because I had believed those lies about myself, I've been playing small. I've been offering advice, but not offering me. So starting today, all of that stops. I believe with all my heart that God brought me to this place because He wants me to share this gift He has given me instead of keeping it to myself. In fact, I've set a goal to talk to at least 5 people every week about this gift. And my friend, you need to do the same. I say this in the most loving way I can, but the truth is you, too, have an amazing gift to share with the world. God didn't intend for you to keep yours to yourself either. Now, you may not even know what your gift is, and that's okay, because I can help you with that. I have this really great conversation, and that's really what it is, a conversation, that I call my Discover Your More breakthrough session. Now, I know that you're thinking that it's just a sales pitch for my coaching program, and the truth be told, it could be that, but it's so much more than that. It's designed so that I can help you create a sense of clarity about what is missing in your life. Discover the essential building blocks for having the life of your dreams. Determine the number one thing stopping you from having the life you want. Identify the most powerful actions that will move you toward the more you desire. And lastly, to complete the conversation with excitement of knowing exactly what you will do next to create the life your soul is longing for. So how about it? Would you help me to step out of hiding by helping me to reach my goal of talking to as many people as possible while helping you figure out what is keeping you from living the life God created you for? Think about it. It helps me live my more while I help you live your more. We can both stop believing the lie that we can't make a difference and show the world that we can. I'd love to have that conversation with you soon. Go to my website at vannajohnson.com/discover and open the door to living a life of fulfillment and peace starting today. I really invite you folks to please take me up on this offer. I really am sincere. I want to help you, whether we ever work together or not. I believe that God did create you for more, and I would love to help ignite that in you. Thank you for listening today. I know your time is precious, and it means so much that you stop by. Please, if you know someone who needs to hear this message, I beg of you, share it with them. It could make all the difference in their life. So please, go, be blessed, and live your more.